Cheating wife accidentally sent me her location, so I did this. I have posted this before on another thread, but I don't know what to do. Please give me some advice and help. I would greatly appreciate it. In 2018 I deployed and my wife and I were having problems. We had gotten married earlier that year and she was threatening to divorce me 2 months after being married and did it well over 10 times throughout the deployment. It hugely bothered me and I would beg for her to forgive me for whatever argument and just do what she wanted. I am not perfect and do not think I am better than her, but she did several things like this. Let me explain. First, we dated in high school and dated for a while and I did cheat on her. We broke up and months later realized what a huge mistake I made and broke up with the girl and we got back together. We were on and off for years and eventually got married after I joined the Marines. In 2018, she went out with her friends to a drag club, so she said, and sent me photos before she left of her and her friend. She was wearing a very sexy outfit, tight, dark skirt and a revealing top and a choker. She looked amazing, but immediately it bothered me because she never wore this for me or around me. Upon further investigation of this photo and a couple others I saw she had taken her wedding ring off. That was a huge red flag, but she gaffed it off as being mad at me because I was mean and us fighting. I gave her all my passwords and usernames. She could have full access to anything because it doesn't bother me. She would be reluctant to give me hers though, but after a while she would give it to me, but it wouldn't work for me and she would just say weird. It works for me. In September 2018, we were still having issues. This one was the worst. One evening she accidentally sent me her location over iMessage and said why I sent that LOL, and I had that bad gut feeling, you know. I looked up the location on Google Earth and the roads and area looked familiar around where we lived, and I soon found out that this was her ex-boyfriend's house. I was crushed and furious. I blew her phone up demanding to get on FaceTime so I could see where she was at. She sent texts saying she has bad service, and after about 20 minutes she FaceTimed and she was driving down a road where I was yelling and she said she was at her friend's and had bad service etc. Started crying and I was just lost. I should have made her stop to see what road she was on, but she was telling me she was at her friend's house. She claimed that she wasn't at Levi's and doesn't know why it sent that location. She said that it must have been her old iPad she left at his house. I talked to people online about the situation anonymously and they said there is no way the location could have came from another device. I don't know what to believe and to this day it haunts me and keeps me up, the thought. Really getting into the fine detail of what would have or did take place in the process of going over to his house. The thought of them having sex drives me insane. I can be fine and think about this, and I'll be depressed and furious. After getting home from deployment she and I stayed with another couple I served with. I was going through her phone one night and saw she still had her ex's Instagram connected to her Instagram. I was upset and went to bed after 0100. I had to get up and go PT and I refused to talk to her and it was eating her alive why I wouldn't talk to her. She really wanted to know what was going on. So after we left PT and got back to the house, she wouldn't leave me alone about it, so I told her and she was like, OH. I knew it would be that. Here, let me show you, and showed me that it had been like that for forever since they dated and that she was never able to take it off and showed me she couldn't. Also, I saw on her Snap camera roll, days before we started dating again in 2017, she was hanging out with her ex. It has since been deleted for I couldn't find it later, as well as all the photos/screenshots of conversations and horrible things she said and the location she sent me etc. were deleted and she said she deleted them and smirked about it. She has said that her ex-boyfriend from back in middle school has given her the most hickeys on her boobs and that I hadn't when we were just talking. This isn't cheating, but why she would say something like that to me. She also went to a party at her friend's house and her other ex was there as well. I'm lost here. We have a son together and he is perfect and I love them both so much, but I still have bad days where I think of all this and right now I have to put it all out and hope for some feedback and advice. Update, I will be quick and to the point. I finally, after sticking to my guns, got her to admit to cheating in September of 2018. I just found out less than an hour ago. She texted it to me so I have evidence and admission of cheating. What to do? Leaving her is said easy. We have a son together. I'm getting a paternity test even though I'm 99% sure he's mine. I'm that boy's dad no matter what. I'm so broken and I am lost and nauseous. I am at work and trying to think of solutions and which course of action is best. I need help, guys. This is me asking and asking and asking for help. Please guys, just help me with what you did or what is the best legal route or options or whatever. Sorry for the long delays, but work has me busy so I can't get on here a lot to update. This will be a quick update because I'm just super busy with work, but again to you guys first, thank you so much for the advice and comments and kindness you've shown me. Some people are calling me a cuck because I promised my wife to try my hardest and fix this, and that promise is what got me the answer. She now swears up and down that this was the only time she has cheated on me while being married. I hated that she did this to me, but I can't deny that I love her. She was my best friend, I thought. She knows me better than anyone. We had a son together. I missed his birth. I just missed his first steps as well, which happened 2 nights ago, and I told her. When I got home that night, I accept all those things that happened because it's part of the job, but when your wife fucks her ex while you're deployed is not part of the job, or it could be with how often it happens. She said that her ex had been texting her every few months from around July 2017 to September 2018 when she cheated, but she never responded to his texts, not until that day that she cheated. There are some days where I'm alright and then the next moment I'm full of sadness or anger. I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to do. I'm on the fence, and if you all could point me in the right direction for legal advice on which direction to go, I'd appreciate that as well. I am going to bring up to my 1STSGT here soon that I may divorce my wife in the near future, and gaining full custody of our son is a likely possibility. I'm just ranting at this point. Please guys and gals, bear with me for a little longer and I'll get on here and give a huge post on everything we've talked about because I'm dying to tell you since I can anonymously. Have a good day everyone. Thanks again. I'm angry at her ex as well. I feel as if I don't go beat him I'll be a pussy, but I feel also that if I leave him be then I'll be the bigger person, but advice on that too please. There has been a lot going on and more lies I have found and just millions of thoughts going through my head. Sorry for the late update. I have been busy and just had no desire to be on here and post this, but you all are the reason I pushed her to admit what I found out was true, so thank you all for that. Now for the updates. My wife told me he texted her one day and she responded and went to his house to hang out. They were talking and he asked how the married life was and she told him, we fight all the time, it's rocky etc. He kissed her and they had sex and she accidentally sent me her location. She said they talked a few days later and then she told him she couldn't do this anymore. I had been trying to reach her ex through social media with no luck, so I then called him because I just knew there had to be more. He didn't answer, so I left it be. I ended up getting a call from him about an hour later. He didn't know who it was, so I told him and he asked what was going on. I asked him if him and my wife had sex and he told me that she came over to his house during a house party where his buddies were over and my wife came over with her younger cousin and she was telling everyone we were divorced and told his mom we divorced, and so he was basically saying that he didn't know we were married. He also asked if I had any ill will towards him or anything like that, and I said no, I hate what y'all did, but if you didn't know then it ain't your fault. Told him that I would contact him again soon for more help. I tell my wife and our counselor, because we go to counseling now, about our conversation and they both think I am crazy for contacting him. My wife denies it and says we can talk later about it. Later she writes we messages, because I told her if it's easier she can admit it on there. The whole truth now, she says. She said she saw him at a fair and they talked for a few minutes. He texted her a few days later and they started talking. One day he asked her what she was doing and asked if she wanted to come over. She went over and they end up having sex. She says this is the only time they had sex. She says they would hang out but only by meeting up and her getting in his truck and going on like hour-long rides, sometimes kissing each other goodbye. She says it was about a month-long affair, sex one time and the rest emotional it looks like. She had a BF while I was gone basically. She says she broke it off with him the day before she left to come to where I was going to be upon returning from deployment. That makes me think she only left him because she came to be with me. She says she ghosted him. She told me she did tell his mom we are probably going to get divorced when they saw each other at another festival. Somehow his mom knew they were talking is what she said. She says that he did know we were married because he would always ask how's the married life in a shitty tone when he saw her, and she said she always said it's fine but said it was rocky and we're always fighting that one time. She told me her uncle saw her truck at his house the day she cheated, and one time her uncle and mom got into an argument and he brought up my wife being over at her ex's house while I was gone, and my wife denied it when her mom asked. her uncle told my wife's grandma and her grandma told my wife that she didn't want to get in between her and Bill's argument and just to think about what you do before you do it. We had a Christmas party with all these people after I got home and no one said anything to me about this, so now her family shows they do not care about me or truly love me, right? Our counselor asked me on our first session how it makes me feel referring to the cheating, and I said it makes me upset and mad and sad, just emotional, etc. And she said, why, it was over 2 years ago? And my wife agreed, like, am I crazy? My wife was hiding the fact she was doing something for years from me. Even before we dated, she told me this was nasty and that she didn't want me doing it, so I didn't, and I rarely did it, and then I found out through her Google search history she was doing this for years, and she was like, IDC if you do it now. I was embarrassed to tell you, no one else knows, I don't wanna at what it was, but it really hurt. She also lied by a holy lot about how much was on her credit card, and now I have to worry about that as well. Last night we were arguing and she threw and broke my phone. I honestly think she is different now and loves me, but I can't trust her, and I've talked to attorneys and will most likely get a divorce. She seems to have not changed how she is, except maybe she's not a cheater anymore. Ick. Sorry for the format, I'm on my phone at work typing this over a few hour span because we're busy. Please ask if confused on anything, and again, thank you for the help, guys and gals. Update: is it wrong of me to bring this up to her family and friends? Should I? She's been emotionally abusive and physically at times for years now, and just shit on anyone and everyone who has cheated, and it turns out she was like them. Also, she is worried if people find out they'll hate her and no one will like her and she'll have nothing. Could me telling everyone affect a judge's decisions in a divorce case? Just anything like that, thank you. Update: I am so scared to leave. This woman has been my best friend for years, more so than my closest guys. She and I have done so much together and have so many plans. Why she did it, and she says still she doesn't know why or what she was thinking. I am in love with this girl, I mean, like, I am appalled by her beauty. She takes my breath away, and every time I see her or a photo of her or her and our baby, I just fall in love all over again. But why did she do this? I am a Christian and God is all about forgiveness, and I want to walk as close as I can to Him and act as close to Him as I can. Would it make me less of or more of a man to forgive her? To stay with her? If I forgave her and we tried again? Is that what He wants most? I think He does, but I also know that if I divorce her because of adultery, it is understood by Him. He wants us to forgive and try again, but if I will. Her ex is fat, smaller in height than her. He has money, or his family does at least, and she has told me he put more effort in their relationship than I do our marriage, and I asked how. She said he took me out to eat and out shopping and to the lake, etc., and I told her I can't do all that because I'm not rich and because you spend all the money. She agreed with me that she does spend all the money and has a problem with money. Why did she have to have a month-long emotional affair? She says and swears that they only had sex one time. I am just broken. I can't listen to country music unless I'm working out to piss me off. She got me really into country music when we got together. Never in a million years would I have guessed my girl would do this to me. It's literally something you see in movies and it's sad and you're like, that would really suck to happen to you, and it did. I am heartbroken, shattered and torn apart.